Alright, sorry. To any of the VOD watchers, like, bro, stop humming. Alright. We got a ton of wool because I'm moving the pixel art project to a new location. So what we're gonna do, I think, first off on the stream is we're gonna head over to... We need to feed Poppy. Alright, we'll do that first because we'll be out for a while and I don't want her starving. Hello, bees. Look at all the bees. I recently actually collected some potatoes for villager breeding. I got a couple more villagers. I'm gonna try and keep up with some villager breeding because we have, like, beds around. I'm really bad. I think the worst thing I'm at is building, like, rooms for villagers. I kind of just build a room with a bunch of beds and then go, you know, have at it. But, we have a bunch of beds available for villagers. Not to mention we have a whole hotel that they just don't use. So. There were people in there at one point, but now there's not. We'll put these away. The hardest part about carrying a ton of shulkers on you is that you end up having so much inventory space. Get out of here. Something I just realized. I'm actually gonna quickly exit the game because I forgot that I think I fixed the little problem with my skin, my Minecraft skin, so I'm gonna quickly add that. Nope, it's still not quite correct. That's mildly frustrating. Okay. I'm fixing this right now, or else it's gonna bug me. Minecraft skin. The problem is I try to do, I tried to do it on Blockbench, but Blockbench doesn't show, like, all the layers. Oh, there we are. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. It hides, like, the hat layer and stuff. Okay, let me hide the body. And then eraser, boop. And I'm just gonna erase these two. I think that's all I need to do. Let's see. Looking around. Yeah, that looks right. So we'll save that, close this, discard all. There we go. That should fix that. Even though I probably should just stop using the skin. Okay. Put it back. So yeah, we're moving the entire pixel art area to a new location. So we're gonna have to dig out an area. right now, we're going to feed Poppy. Then we're going to bring all the wool to the new location. We're not going to build the platform yet. Because we want to build the collection system first. And to do that, we want to clear out the collection system first. So let's get some potatoes set up. Put those away, put those away. Okay, we got some potatoes. I don't know if we have any blaze powder on us. Do we have any space in here? Yeah, I just need to put away some of these shulkers real quick. Hopefully I don't forget them there, because I just need inventory space really badly. This is 12 is probably not enough. Yeah, that should be good. Half a stack. And then we need ender pearls. And then we need poppies as well, which we have a lot of. I'll come back for those, though. I definitely need to sleep because I have not slept in a while. I AFK'd a ton for all this wool. It's wool of varying colors. Poppies. We have a ton somewhere. There's like a whole chest of it. Yep, one. I'll just take one stack. Excuse me. There's creepers there. Creepers on my cake. Soon we'll have to celebrate the birthday of this world. I think it was July that we made this. How's it going, Jimmy? Oh, I was gonna say, did something break in Poppy? She's not. I think it was just because we put so many potatoes. But let me double check, actually. I'm getting distracted now. But, world was created July 5th, 2019, so... July 5th, just a month away, basically, we're gonna be, celebrating our 6th year anniversary in the Minecraft world. Alright, let's grab this. Pixel art project. Gonna build something cool for the 6th? I probably should, right? At first, I built a cake, I think on the 3rd year, or the 4th year anniversary. And I was like, I'm gonna add a layer to this cake every year. And then I never ever touched it again. So I don't really know what I should do for the 6th year. If you guys have any ideas, I'd love to hear some suggestions. Every year I add something to my house, which we've already done with the terrarium, but... Or I'm doing that now, but we could do something with that. We could hold, a festival. We could do, festival stuff or something. Maybe we make up a tradition. I do know Draven said, actually, and I feel like this is dangerous for me mentioning this at all, but Draven... So, back in the day, Shmeeps and I used to do scavenger hunts. Shmeeps would make a scavenger hunt of specific items I'd have to find in Minecraft, and, I'd have to find them in my hardcore world. And Draven said that she had an idea for a scavenger hunt. Maybe I ask them, be like, hey, do you think you can make this scavenger hunt, or do you think you have a scavenger hunt ready for, this day, and then we can do stuff? I don't know what... So, it was July 5th. I don't know what day July 5th is. July 5th is a Saturday, so we can stream that. So we can stream on the day this world was created. wonder if the new update, probably not. I mean, actually it could be. The new update could be coming out because it's supposed to be a summer drop, right? So the new update could be out by the time we get to the 6th year. Oh, we flew over it. We're probably so high up in the air right now. Oh, God. Yeah, we're 700 blocks in the air right now. I was not paying attention. I do this a lot. This was actually how my second totem got broken, I'm pretty sure. Need them gassed mounts, exactly. I don't know if you were here for it, Jimmy, but I was talking about because I'm building the Avengers Tower still in the modded world. The modded server. I need to figure out my headphones always like get tangled in my mouse and I'm just like, how do you like but the I'm building Avengers Tower in the modded world and I was thinking of making it a place like the hangar, the helipad jet hangar is going to be where I put the happy guests in and like or a happy guest in and a way for me to put them on like the nether roof was kind of the idea. So we'll have to do that at some point too. Those are empty. So this should be enough. This is 10 shulker boxes, so 5 double chests of wool. Yeah, I'm thinking of putting like a giant nether portal in the hangar so we can bring the gas to the nether roof for more easy access. Yeah, I said I needed to sleep and then I didn't. Alright, let's see. I go down here. So right now, I'm just gonna move all the contents from these shulkers into the chest. And this is gonna look like a very ugly canvas, but this is gonna be our canvas. I spent so many hours yesterday farming wool. It was actually insane. You might notice there's a lot of red wool and gray wool in comparison to all the other wools. That's because the light gray wool, I should say, is the wool that I was farming for carpets for the pixel art project. So all my sheep are gray right now that aren't in the auto shearing machines. And then red wool was a way for me to re-dye all the wool that we had because we have a bunch of different colors. But there, like if you can't stack 13, I guess you could put it in a bundle, but I couldn't stack like 13 lime 5 blue, like, so I just got a bunch of red dye from rose bushes and re-dyed them all. This is gonna look like a crazy quilt. That should be enough. And if anybody's like, why is he collecting all this wool for this pixel art project? That's going to be the base of the pixel art project. So every block we put on top, like the thing we build on top of is going to be made out of wool, because when we have efficiency or haste 2, efficiency 5, mining on wool still breaks slightly slower than like other blocks. So it takes a long time to like mine it with a pickaxe compared to other blocks. And that will prevent us from potentially breaking the platform, because in the other one we did, I used stone because I used lava on stone, and we would insta-mine it so easily because stone is insta-mineable. So it would constantly cause problems. Also, if you guys didn't see last stream, there's 4 skeleton horses somewhere around here. Because a thunderstorm happened, we got 4 skeleton horses, and there's quite a few brown mushrooms lurking around. Brown mushrooms. Like, there's 3 over here. So, a lot of really cool stuff happened last stream. There's one somewhere over here, I think. We got a lot of brown mushrooms, and we got 4 skeleton horses that I think I'm just going to let roam around unless we need them later. But yeah, those are the ones I just showed off. There's 4 there, yeah. I think there was one more somewhere. But if lightning strikes a red mushroom, it becomes brown, if you didn't know. And we've only seen that happen one other time when we were clearing out the mushroom islands originally. Oh, I'm like, where's the nether home compass? I also think that it's not going to make the flight faster, because I'm pretty sure it's further away, but I want to make a nether portal to the roof from the original pixel art project, just so I can easily transfer items from, like, I don't have to fly to the pixel art project, get everything, fly back home, get into the portal, fly to the place. I can just fly to the portal, go to the place, drop off stuff, fly back, fly through the portal, go, you know. Could almost make a fucked up zoo on that island. Maybe we could think of some fun things to do on that island. It doesn't just have to be the pixel art stuff. I might set up like a farm there, like a wheat farm or something, just because we're gonna be over there for so long that I might want to have some food. I haven't done this in a while. I'm kind of having a bad day because I haven't slept. So my mind's all over the place. And then I played Marvel Rivals, and I usually only play practice versus AI when I'm alone. But today I was like, you know what? I'll play with actual people in quick play. Lost every single match. I didn't play perfect every single game, but holy shit, my teammates did not play perfect every single game. Because, like, I had so many ass teammates, and it was pissing me off so much. Though it was kind of funny because towards the end, oh, Jirach is back in stock for the Soda Pop refresh. I'm looking at Pokemon. But I was freaking. I was getting so pissed, but it was really funny because partway through, after like I lost like 6 games in a row, I was like, you know what, fuck them. If they're not like, I always in Marvel Rivals, I go, okay, we don't have a tank, I'll be the tank. We don't have 2 healers, I'll be a healer. Like, I'm always filling the roles. Like, I'm always looking to be like, what is the best team comp? Because I want to, you know, I want to win, I want to have fun, I want to enjoy the game. And I was just like, every game I played, I was just fucking, oh my god, dude, like, what is my team doing? And again, it's not just my team, you know, I am capable of taking the blame for things. I wasn't playing perfectly. Why am I so high up? But, I was getting really frustrated. And so I was like, fuck it, I want to play Black Widow. I'm going to play Black Widow. That's what I'm going to do. And so I played Black Widow for the next 2 games. We lost one, and then I got into the bot lobbies, where if you lose too many times in Marvel Rivals, they put you in a bot lobby so you win and keep playing. I need to be careful when I'm flying this high up. Because, like, my elytra's gonna fucking break. Okay. I love playing Black Widow in Marvel Rivals, but I just know it's a throw pick because I can't aim, and she's just not very good. So, I'm always like, you know what, I'm not gonna play her because I don't want to, like... No, I did that. Yeah, I was like, I didn't leave them in here. Yeah. Because I'm always like, I don't want to, like, ruin other people's time, you know? Not anymore. I'm gonna ruin everybody's time. um... Okay. This could get weird. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. I think it should be fine. Like, I have a portal here, but I feel like I can move it, and it should work if I move it to the platform. So I'm gonna clear this out. Um, I just had a thought, and I'm kind of here for it, but I'm not sure yet. 'Cause, hmm. Uh, okay. So basically, there is a way to duplicate. There's a way to duplicate certain blocks. Or, well, specifically, there's like a netherite duplicator that works where if you, there's like a glitch in Minecraft where if you blow something up, but like push it with a piston, but the thing that blows up isn't a block that can be exploded or whatever, it duplicates the block, like it drops it because of something happening. I'm wondering if I could make that work for obsidian. Because if I could get infinite obsidian, then that would make my life so much easier. I I have a whole shulker. I knew I fucked up. I knew I fucked up because there was half a chest full. I knew it. I knew it. Um. Huh. I'm wondering if that works with obsidian. I'll have to do more research on it. If that works with obsidian, then I'm 100% doing that for obsidian, because mining obsidian and farming obsidian is really obnoxious. I know there's a way to do it because you have like piglins and stuff, but the bartering stuff takes forever as well. So, alright, we're gonna do this. This is, let's see, 255 or 2500 250063. That doesn't matter, but 2500 3905. That would be awesome, because I would use that as my platform rather than... And I would only use it for the pixel art before anybody gets, like, up in arms about cheating. I mean, it's my world. I can do whatever the heck I want in it. But, I would only use that for pixel art. That could be really interesting. But I don't have enough knowledge / information about how to make that duplicator right now that I would have to look into it. More thoroughly before I really make a decision. Okay. I'm gonna grab some more obsidian. Like, I literally need just a bit more. Alright. Let me grab some glass. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then let's get the calculator up, because I can't divide by 8 in my head. That's not the calculator app. Okay. 8. So we're going... I don't think there was a negative number in the stuff. I didn't actually look. 3905 divided by 8. I think that's right. I hope that's right. Alright, let's see. We gotta go this way. This way. Dude, I get so turned around in the nether because I feel like my nether portal is not facing the correct way. Like, I'll go into the nether portal, be like, oh, it's that direction, and then the moment I go that way, it's like, no, not even close. Is that gonna be... Okay. 312... 312... And then... I feel like this is gonna be in our way, isn't it? Oh, well, it's broken. Interesting. 488, 312. Okay. Three, 2, 3, 2. Okay. Let's see. Sweet. There. Then let's go here. 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 And we'll go old. Okay, we'll go nether. Old. Pixel art. Probably won't have that forever, but... Alright. And then... Go through here. You ever set an alarm and end up staring at your calendar? Do you ever try to set an alarm and end up staring at your calendar for like a minute? No, but when I go to use the calculator app, I open up my clock app. I've not messed it up with the calendar, but the clock and the calculator I always get messed up. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. It's got to be something with the brain. Okay. I am now gonna take on the task of throwing away this piece of glass bars. I'm gonna take on the task of clearing out the rest of the stuff here. Uh-huh. The roof. These here, just so they're out of my way. Whee. Okay. We're gonna be collecting the collection system, and even though this is not gonna reach the whole thing, I'm gonna turn this on. This beacon has not been turned on in a long-ass time. Let me start here, I guess. Just to make it easy to run through, we'll clear out these dirt. Dude, this was like maybe 5 days of work that we're gonna be undoing right now. There is two! Okay, so that's why that one's stopping, so I don't think I need to worry about them stopping. There is two on that track. Okay, we just need to be extra careful next time. Ooh. We're just, you know what? If our inventory gets full, just put it in a hopper. Come pick them up at the end. Okay, so I don't have to worry about redesigning this, other than I want to have more minecarts. No rail left behind. So much redstone went into this. Knowing that I'm going to be able to repurpose a lot of it just brings me so much joy, chat. You don't understand. Like, look at all the powered rails in there. Those all have 1 to 2 redstone blocks next to it. Oh, I'm going to get all those back, baby. Okay. The hardest part will be bringing all the minecarts, because the minecarts do not stack, cannot be put in bundles. That's going to be the most annoying part, I think. Do you need some privacy? I do need some privacy, dude. Oh. Now, the only other thing is I'm not quite sure what I want to do here. If I just want to, like... I feel like doing this would make the most sense. Just mining straight through. I think that is what I want to do. All I want to do. No, because that's going to be slow. So then what I think I really want to do is have some fun. And I got a feeling. Do I need a pickaxe? I do need a pickaxe. Okay. What I should also do, actually, to make this a little bit of an easier process. We're gonna bring 2 shulkers down at a time, so that when my inventory gets filled, we just fill the shulkers. I should have made it, you know what? I should make a collection system to collect all the rails, and then we can collect that collection system, and then we'll collect the collection system, and the collection system with a collection system. So if you're at all confused by why I used redstone blocks for this, I talked a little bit about this before, but you can't waterlog levers or torches or different things. There's probably other stuff I could have used or different ways I could have done it, but I found the simplest and most convenient way for the time, because this is such a big project, was to just use redstone blocks to power things, and then that's just so much redstone that we're wasting. Like, this is all of the redstone I had was put into this project here. So, luckily, we're able to get it back. And that's the plan, is to get as much of it back as I can. This is also where I wish Minecraft had some sort of, like, magnet item. Like, I could just go through and magnet pick up everything. The cool thing about collecting all of the wool is that if I do find a way to duplicate obsidian somehow, I will just have, like, infinite carpets for future for future projects. Because all the obsidian you see here is stuff that I've mined by hand. And I can tell you that that is probably one of the most boring things to mine. There is a way to, like, make a farm with a wither, but I really don't want to fuck with making farms with withers. Like, maybe someday. But it's like, you set up... And I don't really understand how it works, because you set it up at, like, your end gates, where you, like, come through the end portal, and you have blocks keep going through the portal so that the thing gets replaced, and then the wither breaks it, and I'm just sitting here like, okay, like, I guess you have to kill the wither every time you want to use it and, like, make a new one, but it's like, well, how do I get into my end portal? Like, how do I get into the end? If I go through the end portal, am I just gonna instantly die? Like, that doesn't seem very... Doesn't seem very safe. Let me get this in here. But yeah, this is the down and dirty stuff, man. Like, I feel bad for you guys, because this is not the most I find that I'm not the most entertaining person when it comes to streaming. I appreciate anyone hanging out with me and just, you know, chatting and stuff. But, like, I find I'm not the most entertaining person in the world, and it's hard to make something like this entertaining. So, but this is just, like, this is what I do in Minecraft. This is, like, this is my fun. I feel like anybody that plays Minecraft a lot knows that, like, this is the fun part of Minecraft, is all the hard work that you have to do. I'm pretty sure it was really funny, too, when I was building this. I'm almost certain there was a hole in the floor when I was originally building this, and at one point, a creeper fell through and, like, blew up part of it. That's extremely annoying. Swimming. Thank you. Ah! I insta-mine this. So holding this, apparently. It's probably... Actually, I don't know why. Whatever. I'll take this, too. Not helpful, but... You like watching your builds come together? I appreciate it. I think the hardest thing with Minecraft... Etho Slab was talking about it, which I find really interesting, because... I feel like Etho has such a dedicated fan base that I've never really thought about him ever having trouble thinking about, like, what can I do for my channel? Like, for me, when I watch Etho, I watch Etho for Etho, and I like watching his builds, I like watching his redstone, I like listening to his voice, I just like Etho. But he's like talking about like, people are like, oh, are you gonna do this or that, or like, you know, play this adventure map? And he's like, well, adventure maps don't really work anymore because really people only watch Minecraft for like inspiration and cool ideas. So, like stuff like video series like those don't do as well. And I'm like, that's kind of like, I'm like, I guess that is kind of the trend. Like, you don't really see people playing Minecraft in a way where they, like, you very rarely see someone not building in Minecraft, or like not, like that's really just it, like not building. Like, I feel like you very rarely see anyone doing like mod packs anymore, and if they're doing mod packs, they're building in the mod packs. Or like, I don't, like, when was the last time you've ever seen someone play like an adventure map? And those used to be like, that used to be like the big thing. So it's kind of interesting. And that's like what I've just been seeing a lot, because I've been watching Stan. I've been talking about him a lot. I've been watching Stan a lot. Build the Death Star. But like every day I wake up and he posts a YouTube short about like him progressing the Death Star, and then like his streams are just him building the Death Star. But like, I can't imagine people would want to necessarily go out of their way to watch the Death Star being built, other than like people that enjoy Stan himself and like enjoy being in the chat. Like, I feel like there's such a bigger audience of like people that just watch that YouTube short and they go, oh my god, it's so cool watching him build this. And even I originally watched Stan because I wanted inspiration for Kame House, and he was like the only person that made a Kame House that I thought looked good, or like, to not necessarily to scale, but like the idea of the trees and like the rocks and the sand. Like, he was the only one that I could find that I felt made a good Kame House. And then, of course, I used other references. I didn't just only use his. I looked at the games and stuff. I've been watching, I don't know if anybody's interested in hearing about the random things I've been watching, but I've been watching Hawkeye, the Disney Plus show, Marvel show Hawkeye, and it's pretty good. I've been going back and watching like, I'm gonna go back and basically watch anything that had a Thunderbolt in it, because I'm obsessed with the Thunderbolts. So I went back and watched Black Widow. I'm gonna watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is one I'm really excited for, because I feel like it's gonna be really good, because, Captain America Brave New World came out, right? And Anthony Mackie in that show, I was just like, when he was talking, I was like, fuck, I forget that, like, I don't want this to sound rude, but like, sometimes I forget that like Anthony Mackie's a fucking actor, dude. You know what I mean? Like damn, dude, he is so good. Like, sometimes I forget just how good he is. So, I want to watch that, and I love Sebastian Stan as well, and Wyatt Russell, I think, is who John Walker the person who plays John Walker. It's phenomenal as well. And then I think that'll be everything. I'll have to watch other than Ant-Man and the Wasp, but I just don't care about Ant-Man. In the most respectful way possible. I just do not care about Ant-Man. So, um, I'm hoping that, or I might do it, but I'm hoping I get my fill in these ones. But I might do it anyways because I want to do a review. I talked about this before. I want to do a review of Thunderbolts because I'm starting a new channel where I want to do movie content, talk about movies, and Thunderbolts is definitely going to be one of them. But I'm waiting for the day that they release it either on streaming or for Blu-ray because I want to be able to like slow down, look at stuff, go back and forth between different movies and things to check out stuff. Because there's already a couple things that I've noticed from other movies that I was like, oh, that's a callback in the Thunderbolts, and I didn't even know that. So I like the extra context I'm getting, and I think it's gonna add to the when I talk about it. But I want to work on. I'm gonna work on Death Tube for the first one. I don't know if I've talked about that, but Death Tube is this movie that I found on Tubi, Tubi. Tubi is this weird free streaming service where you can watch like free movies and stuff. And there's actually like pretty decent movies sometimes. It's free with ads. And the ads aren't even that bad either. Sometimes you don't even get like an ad when watching a full movie, or you'll get like one. But it has a lot of bad movies, a lot of good movies as well. But I went on it because I was watching a lot of bad like horror movies and like psychological thrillers, and then I started running into like some very interesting and cool ones that I want to talk about. But DeathTube was one that I watched where I was. It's so funny because like I watch it and it's a genuinely interesting concept. Basically, the idea of the movie is there's this website that pops up every once in a while called DeathTube, which is like a YouTube style website where people are watching live stream videos. It's more like Twitch, I guess. Well, they're watching live stream videos of people doing like a death game. So like you have to solve a Rubik's Cube in X amount of minutes where like the colors match whatever, right? Or else you get killed, right? And people watching, there's a lot of people that are like, I don't even think this is real, or like I think this is kind of fake because there's no way this is like happening, and there's other people that are like, this is definitely real, and then these guys must have been terrible people for being brought into like this, you know? And so you know, our main character gets put in the death game, and now he's got to try and figure out how to get out, right? Which I think is always a cool concept for any like for death games. Is always just like, how are they gonna get out of it? You know, it's an easy genre to sort of have intrigue for, but it's such a fascinating movie because it's like the movie didn't have a budget, right? Because it's obviously made as more of like an indie film where there's not really a budget for the movie, but it almost plays into the weirdness of DeathTube itself, because like DeathTube is this like mystical organization that like kidnaps people and puts them into these games, but like they don't like, so it's like you gotta think these people are like have to be powerful, but then some of the death games are just like stupid, where they're just like pointless, or they make them do dumb shit that's, it's not like Squid Game where it's like, you know, they have these big elaborate places. They're in like a warehouse in the middle of nowhere. And so it adds to that sort of mysticism of these people, because it's like, who is doing this? Like, how are they doing this? Who is doing this? What is this place? Like, why are they like this? Like, why is anything, like, how is this happening? What's going on? Like, all this shit. And so it pulled me in because I was like, this is interesting. I want to know, like, how this works. Like, how does this game work? Who's running it? Blah, blah, blah. And, like, I don't want to spoil necessarily anything in case you want to watch it, but it gets to a part where it gets boring. Like, it's just like, okay, these are really boring games where, like, they're just kind of stupid, and it's like, okay, it's boring. And then there's this big twist, right, that happens, and it automatically brings me back again because I'm like, wait, oh my god, how do they do that? Like, are they magic? Like, are they demons? Are they? You start thinking about like, oh shit, like what the fuck? How do they do that? And then it just never gets answered. Like they just never answer any of the questions you have about anything going on. And it has a really unsatisfying ending because it's just like they try to make the main character come off as like a bad person, which he is in certain aspects. But there's like he doesn't really do anything that like is abhorrent other than like one thing that just is like it's not bad writing, but it's like it's kind of like I don't have that personal opinion, but he does, and I can like I sort of get it, but I don't really understand his mentality on it, so I can't really have a heavy opinion one way or the other. And then so I was like that is weird and kind of lame at the end, but the silver lining is there's a DeathTube 2 that I watched, and DeathTube 2 is so much better than DeathTube 1 because it actually goes in depth a little bit, not a lot, a little bit into like what the fuck is going on, but it still doesn't answer like anything. But it's sort of like you get to see a lot more of the behind the scenes of like how the death game works and how DeathTube is run, that you're like, okay, this is kind of interesting, but they just don't like they never explain anything about it to a point where it's like leaving it up to the audience's interpretation is always good, but like there's not anything to even be like, oh, it's run by a company, oh, it's run by the government, or like you can't like there's no idea of like what it's supposed to be. So I gotta rewatch that one because that DeathTube is gonna be the first movie I do a review on, because I want to talk about it. You know, there's a lot of really good movies on Tubi. It's unfortunate because there's a movie called The Complex that was on Tubi for a while. It's made by the director that created The Ring, and it is one of my favorite horror movies, I think. I don't like horror movies, but I really like this one because it has such an interesting premise, and then it gets into like this weird, like it's basically like this is the premise, it's super weird, and then you get like glimpses of like, okay, something else is going on, and then it completely turns everything on its head and is like, this is actually what's happening. It's really cool. But Complex is no longer on Tubi. But I would like to make a movie review of that one if I can ever find it on another streaming service. There's a lot of stuff I want to do, and there's some ones that I want to talk about, like just ones that are like weird movies. Like I don't want to spoil too many of like I have a list of movies that I want to talk about, and I don't want to spoil too many of them because maybe you want to, you know, be surprised for it, but I just want to give you an idea of one. Is I love like giant monster movies, kaijus if you will, Godzilla, King Kong, and something that kind of goes hand in hand with liking those is dinosaurs. And there's a lot of shitty dinosaur movies out there. There's like a ton of them. And so I'm watching this like one movie called I think Dino World or something like that. And basically the concept of it is that there's this game that you have to or that people are playing that are beta testing, this like dinosaur survival game, basically like battle royale. And the winner of this battle royale will get so much fucking money that it's unbelievable if you win this. And so only a certain select few of gamers get selected for this thing, right? And this one dude is like, I gotta enter this thing because the main character's like, I think his mom's dying or something like that, and he needs to pay for the surgery. And so this movie is dubbed over in English, but I assume is originally in either, I can only assume Chinese, but I do not know. It could be some other language, but I'm pretty sure it's Chinese. I could 100% be wrong. But so it starts out with this thing, right? Of like this premise, and the guy's like walking into the place with all these people, and there's a bunch of different people of all different walks of life, you know, races, genders, ethnicities, etc., which I thought was kind of cool. Um, because a lot of the like, you know, Japanese horror movies or Japanese movies I watch, like there's really not, you know, there's Japanese people, and it makes sense. But like in this one, had the main cast was all Asian people, but there was a bunch of other characters that weren't, and it was just kind of interesting, right? Um, gave it a unique flavor. Scanning, they're just scanning across the room, right, at different people, and all of a sudden, this guy comes up to the main character. He's like, "Hi, I'm this person. It's lovely. Like, oh, are you excited for the games? Blah blah blah." And I'm sitting there, I'm like, "Holy fuck." That's emotional damage guy. The fucking dude that does the emotional damage and slams the fucking thing on the table is just in the movie. He's like the supporting cast. He's like the supporting guy to the main character. And I was just like, what the fuck? But the thing that throws me off a lot about it is he's dubbed over in English, so I have to either assume that he's speaking whatever language it was originally dubbed in, or they dubbed him over because they dubbed everybody else over. But like, it's so random. He just shows up and he's in that movie and he's a big part of it. And I was kind of just like, what the fuck? So I'm not only going to talk about, like, horror movies or anything. I'm going to talk about basically any movie I found interesting. Originally, it was going to be only, like, these kind of bad movies, like B-list movies, but Thunderbolts changed the fucking chemistry in my brain. So I want to make a movie about, or a video about Thunderbolts really badly. Especially because there's so much to talk about in Thunderbolts that it really adds itself to the video. But yeah, it's crazy. So hopefully you guys are interested in that. I really need to start working on DeathTube, which means I have to start watching it again, which that's kind of the thing that sucks about some of these movies is a lot of the movies that I watch aren't in English, so they're like subtitled, where I can't really like do something else and then like listen to the movie. Not that I really should, because I should be focusing fully on the movie if I'm watching it multiple times to like write notes, but I'll sit there and like I can't just like go and do something, or if I need to write something down, I'll have to look down and then look back up and make sure it's like, okay, did I miss anything? So I think it will be a little bit difficult, but I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it, hopefully. I still need to finish the art for the stuff, but I might start working on the script soon and looking over the movie again. I think with Thunderbolts, it's gonna be a lot different than the other movies I have planned, because with Thunderbolts, like with the movies that I have planned, basically the idea behind me doing this was there's this YouTuber called Found Flicks that I really like, that he does a series called Ending Explained, and really he doesn't explain the ending. Like, he does, but that's not the whole point of the video. He goes in and basically explains the entire plot of the movies, and, like, goes through and tells you all the key points. And so, I kind of want to do that with some of the weirder movies, like DeathTube and things. And then I also want to, like... I'm looking all these... And then with, like, Thunderbolts, I'm not going to be going through, like, bit by bit what happened. I'm going to be talking about, like, this is the themes I've seen in the movie, and these are the ideas and trends that I see. Like, an actual, like, sort of analysis or essay of the movie, rather than me going, like, Yelena starts on a bridge, and, like, this can, you know, like, go through we start off our movie with our hero on a bridge, you know, or something. There's also another YouTuber that I can't remember the name, but she does talking about horror movies, and it's really funny too, because sometimes you run into like a YouTuber that you're like, oh, their content's really good, and then you just never see their other content, because I was watching this woman. She talks about like horror movies and different stuff and goes through them, and it's really interesting and just very entertaining. Um, it's basically like a lot of these are basically like reaction videos, but with extra steps. It's like without watching the video, you're getting the reaction past. But um, it was funny because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go see like what other videos she's done. And I like click and I scroll down, and the movie stuff that she's done is like pretty recent, and then the rest of the stuff is like her stretching and doing like the splits, and then like talking about being a Mormon. And I'm just like, I didn't what? It's like so random. Like it's her being like, "Can I do the splits?" And just, you know, and she can do it. Also, Jimmy, if you do watch Death Tube, let me know. Let me know how you feel. I also want to do a lot, like a series of talking about the Asylum films, which I feel like have been talked to death about. But Asylum is such a fascinating company. Dude, I saw an Asylum film in DVD in a store. And if you don't know what Asylum is a movie company. I've definitely talked about them before, but Asylum is a movie company that just basically makes bad movies. I don't think they're like objectively I feel like they are to an extent, but I don't think originally they were trying to make bad movies. But basically the whole point of um the whole thing with Asylum was that they basically just went so say like Thunderbolts came out, right? They would just make Thunderclouds and would have basically the exact same cast with the exact same like not necessarily the exact same plot, but like a rough plot of like what's happening, and they would just basically make a rip-off version of the movie, and that's what they do. They've made Atlantic Rim, which is a rip-off of Pacific Rim. They've done the Sinister Squad, which is a rip-off of the Suicide Squad, but it's probably one of the more interesting movies because instead of just ripping off the Suicide Squad, they change it where that the Suicide Squad is not the Joker and Batman. It's like copyright-free fairy tale characters, which makes sense because if they tried to use the Joker, they would get fucking absolutely annihilated by DC, and Warner Brothers. But they're like, you know, instead of the Joker, it's like Rumpelstiltskin, or like, you know, instead of Enchantress, it's the evil witch from Snow White. And so like stuff like that. And they have like Transmorphers, which don't watch Transmorphers, it's seizure inducing. I watched it, it was horrible. They have what other ones have I watched? They have Ape versus Mecha Ape, which is like, well, they have the Ape versus Monster is the first one, and then Ape versus Mecha Ape, which is just their version of like King Kong Godzilla. And stuff like that. And I want to talk about like Asylum movies because they're so fascinating. There's also another movie I really want to talk about, but it's going to be hard to talk about, so it might be a shorter video. It's called Live Screamed, and it's a psychological horror movie with one of the worst endings I think I've ever seen in my fucking life. But basically this guy is like a horror streamer, like he streams horror games, and he gets this like link to this game, and it's actually haunted, and that if like he dies in the game or something happens to the game, someone watching his live stream gets killed. And if the people leaving the I think if the people, I can't remember if the people if they leave the live stream they get killed, or if he gets 0 viewers he gets killed or something like that. No, I don't think I think it's just like if they leave they get killed. And so they're like held hostage by this game, and he has to go through these different like levels and stuff. And the reason why I think this movie is fascinating is not necessarily the premise, because the premise is all right, but the entire movie is shot like a Twitch stream with a fake chat, um, fake alert donations, and a fake streamer who is the only guy talking throughout the movie, other than like a handful of characters that show up on screen for like less than a minute, maybe less than 5 minutes total. So it's like an hour and a half long monologue by this dude. And I have to say that the movie is not fantastic, but the guy doing the monologue is genuinely like doing his best. He doesn't really talk like a normal human would talk sometimes, but I feel like that's less to do with the guy and more to do with maybe the direction and the writing. But it's such a fascinating movie because it's just all shot in one area with one thing going on, and there's not really anything scary for the viewer because like you're not affected by it, like the viewer as in us, but we're not like affected by anything, or like there's not really any scary things happening other than like jump scares in the game. But I don't know, it's just a really fascinating random movie. The ending is terrible. Like, it's so bad, I hate the ending. I laughed so hard at the ending because it's just laughably bad. Like, it's such a... They try to do this, like, crazy twist that, like, is supposed to make you go, fuck. Like, they really try to do, like, a Black Mirror, like, ending. And it falls flat because it's like, what? Like, that's how we end this? It's so stupid. And it's one of those endings where they want you to feel like, fuck, dude, no, oh my god, no way that happened. But it's like, there's absolutely nothing the guy could have done to change the thing that happened. So, it's hard to really feel an emotional weight to the situation when the guy trying to get out of the situation, like, physically couldn't change anything. Like, if he did, he would just die. Like, he would... So, it's hard to... You get railroaded into the situation. So, it's not that easy for me to, like, give a shit about, but yeah, there's a lot of really good, like, bad movies on Tubi. If you just want to watch something for a little bit and turn off your brain, like, go on Tubi. And Tubi has, like, I should say this as well. To give Tubi credit, I'm not sponsored, obviously, but, like, to give Tubi credit, they have, like, TV, like, you can watch, like, TV channels, which is, like, basically just random channels playing different shows that's, like, acts like TV. So if you want to watch something, like, more random, you can. There's, like, really some pretty good anime on there. Like, there's old Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Like, there's a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. There's, like, Monster Ranchers stuff. Like, there's a lot of older things. They have legitimately good A-list movies every once in a while, but it's usually way down the line. Like, I think they had Batman versus Superman on there for a little bit, and they had the Hunger Games on there, but it's like those movies are a handful of years old at this point. And they don't stay there forever. They're very limited time, but sometimes you get on there and they have a lot of good stuff. They have, like, a lot of the old Godzilla movies on there, though I feel like you can just find a lot of the old Godzilla movies on, like, YouTube now. I feel like Toei is... or Tokushoutsu kind of just upload them now. They used to do like a 24-hour live stream of Godzilla movies. I was in it all the time. It was so good. They have a lot of Godzilla movies. I know they have, like, Gamera. They have some Ultraman stuff. That was where I was watching Ultraman. So, like, a lot of different stuff that you would just kind of never see on your own. I feel like usually a lot of foreign things, like Japanese, Taiwanese, Thailand, or Thai, I guess. Different stuff. China, I said Chinese, Japanese, you know, like a lot of that stuff that I think are really, really good. Korean. There's a lot of Korean movies on there too. And then there's just, like, a lot of bad movies in general. Like, I watched a movie about, like, I think they just let people upload things onto Tubi sometimes because there's like this movie that's about Nazis on the moon. Like, it's so strange. That one I don't think I'm going to talk about, but it's like they're saying like Nazis are like this alien race of like lizard people that like lived during the dinosaur age, and it's the most bizarre shit ever. So, and there was one that was like Donald Trump versus aliens, and it was a 3D animated like CGI movie about Donald Trump fighting aliens, and it's so fucking bad. I think we watched Ape versus Mecha Ape in the Discord. I'm pretty sure we did. We should. I need to like start planning more movie stuff in the Discord. I keep saying I want to do it and then I never do it, but I really should. Um, yeah. Ugh. Trying to think of any more movies I watched. There was one movie that I thought was really interesting. There was like a point in time where me and my mom just watched like Japanese World War II movies because we watched Godzilla minus one, and then we watched like this other Studio Ghibli movie, I think, that was about World War II, and then we watched this other movie on Tubi that was about World War II, and it's kind of an interesting. It's an interesting look at like society then, because it was funny because I was looking into it and there was like reviews that were like people were saying like they hated the movie because it was like Japanese propaganda to make you feel bad for like the Japanese in World War II, right? And like I don't feel bad for Japan the country, but like I feel like it's fair to be feel bad for people that just live in the country, like the citizens. Like those people didn't pick the fight. They're just doing what they're told, and like like they don't know anything any better cuz that's just how it is, especially back then. And so there was a lot of like very it was the same with Godzilla minus one, but Godzilla minus one has a different tone about it. But like there's a scene in the movie, I can't remember the name for the life of me, but there's a scene in the movie where they basically announce that the war is ending and that they've surrendered, and the main character can't get over that they surrendered. She's like they said until every last one of us is killed, we're not gonna give up, and I'm still standing. Like she couldn't get over the fact because she's been in this situation where like it's almost I don't want to say brainwashing, but it's almost like they're really going writing home on like we need to take like the fucking I don't want to say I'm an expert on World War II at all, but like the emperor at the time was like I am a descendant of like the sun god. Like he was like they believed that they had like the divinity on their side, like they had divine powers, like they were so like focused on like winning this war that that like of course people are gonna be they're not gonna like want to give up, and that I don't I don't consider that like propaganda necessarily, other than like if they were like that they were right, it's like yeah, no, that's like if they're trying to convince you that they're right, I don't think they were. I think it was just a story of like this is what it was like at the time, and it was a very fascinating movie. Though the first like half an hour of the movie to like an hour was just absolute nonsense, and it was really confusing. Like, it was about this little girl that got like kidnapped by a monster and met this little boy when they got kidnapped by the monsters, and it was just never explained if that happened or if, like, I feel like there's always like one thing in these movies at least that like makes it go like, this is why it's a bad movie. Like, this is why it's not a critically acclaimed movie. It's because like there's this random scene with like a monster carrying these kids on its back, being like, is this an actual scene? Because like, it's like, okay, she dreamed of this monster kidnapping her, right? But then like the kid that she meets is a real person. And they don't ever explain like how they met, other than they met when getting kidnapped by the monster. And it's just like, what? And then it's never brought up again until like the end of the movie where the monster is referenced. So random. So flat. But yeah, see, I like movies, and that's why I want to make a YouTube channel where I talk about movies at length. Because I got a lot to talk about. I will do my best to make sure that the movie channel doesn't get in the way of like my gaming stuff, because I'm most likely always going to be primarily focusing on my gaming stuff because that's the stuff I enjoy the most. But if for some reason the movie stuff is just way more fun than this, which I really don't think it's gonna be, then who knows? But I've already started lowering how often I upload and stuff like that, so it's not gonna affect that anymore. I've already started slowing down, but I'm gonna do my best to not like completely neglect this channel if something happens, you know, God forbid. I should really be saying like I hope I don't neglect the movie channel, because I'm planning like maybe a movie every like 3 months, maybe 2 months, you know, at the least, at the shortest time. But also, I think I'm gonna be right back super quick. So I'm just gonna mute and I'm gonna sit here. I'll put you guys on the BRB screen, I guess.
Well, do you mind if I open it in here?
It's bad luck.
It's so big. It might not fit.
Someone clip that. Someone clip that for me.
No.
It might not fit. That's not really my cup of tea, but hearing you say it is getting me all hot and bothered.
Someone clip that.
Someone clip that. Someone clip that for me.
I have a mark button on my stream deck, so I'm just marking things.
Hey, I just like ignorance. You know what I mean? It's my favorite thing. What the fuck? What the fuck? Did y'all just see that bullshit? What kind of Japanese magic is this crane machine? What kind of magic is this? What the heck? I'm going for the ooh woo. Oh whoa. Yes. Yes. No. No, no, no. Yes. Yeah, I have a Pop-Tart. Good. I'm gonna pop your tart in a couple seconds. I don't know if that came off horribly, but it sounded better in my head.
Bring the milkshakes to my yard. Milkshakes to my yard.
Milkshakes bring all the milk to the yard, and they're like, I want to get shaked.
Brains bring all the zombies to the deck.
And I'm like, hey, what the heck?
Oh!
Where's Unchained? Unchained's right.
If it doesn't look good, I'm gonna be so sad. T is the master of the Shiba. How does this look? Does it look too... What does it look like?
Evelyn.
Evelyn, yeah. She's this beautiful young lady who has a lust for murder, even if it's our own teammates.
That sounds like fun.
She became a legend to me when I teleported somewhere and there was just a dead giant beside her. And I was just like, Evelyn. Was this you? Evelyn? No, that was horrible. That was horrible.
Clip it fast.
No, delete your accounts.
That was really good.
I can't do it. I don't know.
That was also really good.
I hate
but
it.
The first one was also really good. Both of those were really good.
I hate it. I hate it here.
Catherine.
Oh, I killed her as well.
Okay.
I'm back. Speaking of movies, chat. Ooh, squeaky chair. Speaking of movies, I just got a new projector for my room. I had a projector, but so I had a projector, and it was a pretty good projector, but the one thing that kind of sucked about it was or the one thing that happened was basically there's like a power cord that goes into the port on the thing, and for some reason there was like flickering on the side of the screen when I used it, and I was getting really annoyed. And so I looked it up, and people were like, that usually means the power cord is either damaged or not fully plugged in. And so I'm like, okay. And so I click on, all right, I try to wiggle the power cord in, and then as I do that, it goes, pops right out, right? And I'm just like, damn it. And then I couldn't get the port out of the computer, so, or out of the projector to fix it. So I spent like hours trying to pull this thing out, right? I finally did. Plug it back in, tape it up with electrical tape. It works as good as it can, right? Then oh shoot. These. But then after a bit, it stopped working again, or started doing the flickering thing again, so I tried to fix it. And then when I try to fix it, the wire connected to the port disconnected, like it ripped off, basically. I didn't pull on it very hard, but it fell off, and I was like, fuck it, whatever. And so I'm kind of like, it's a really old projector at this point. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just get a new one. And so I ordered a new one, and it just came today, and my dad, day before, was like, well, what's wrong with it? I'm like, the cord is not connected anymore, it doesn't work, blah, 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 this is what's happening. And he's like, well, like, let me look at it. I'm like, if you want a project to do something, and you just have a ton of free time, you can do it, but I'm just saying I don't think it's gonna work. And so my dad, with the help of my mom, soldered it with a soldering iron to fix it. And so it's technically fixed. It technically works, but I had already ordered this new one. And so I'm really hoping this new one's good, because it's really hard to tell online sometimes. And I'm just trying to find ones that aren't like $5,000, you know? Like, I don't need a crazy one. It's just going to be for my personal use. I'm not running like a movie theater. So I should have brought my elytra shulker. But yeah, I'm excited to try that out. praying it works good. Praying it works at least as good, if not better, than the one I already had. I'm worried a little bit because it's a lot smaller than the one I have. Doesn't mean it's not better, or doesn't mean it's worse just because it's smaller. Size doesn't always, you know, size doesn't matter sometimes, but I'm just worried that I'm gonna plug this thing in and it's gonna be like dog shit. I just need it to be like sort of good, because also the majority of the shit I watch on the projector anyways are like old TV shows at like 480p, so it's not like I'm even watching anything at high res definition, though this one says it supports, I think it supports up to 1080. We were looking at another one that supports like 4K, but I'm like, when am I ever gonna like, when am I doing 4K? So that's, I'm gonna try to maybe try that one. It sucks because I have depression. Like I have depression. I haven't been diagnosed with it, but I have it. Maybe I don't have severe depression, but I have depression. And watching movies and watching TV shows on my projector brings me happiness, brings me joy, but sometimes my brain physically just cannot do it. I don't know why. It's so, streamer mode does not work anymore, is what I've noticed. And I might have to be RB in a second. If you can put it in the fridge, that would be great. Please. Thank you. But like sometimes my brain just does not allow me to do it. Like I physically cannot bring myself to just do it, to just set it up, turn it on, and so I don't do it. Even though it would bring me happiness, I don't do it. I can't do it. And finally, like a couple weeks ago, I'm like, when I first had the issues, I'm like, I'm gonna watch something, right? Set it up, doesn't work. Oh, fuck damn it. You know, like, golly, it doesn't, like, why is this shit always causing me so much guff? And so I end up not watching it anyways, because I'm like, of course, the day that I'm finally like, I'm gonna do it, I can't do it. And then, the next time, like the most recent one, I'm like, I'm gonna set it up. That's when it breaks, like, completely, and I'm just like, fuck me, man. Like, god damn it. So, I'm hoping that this one works without too much guff. Because I want to get back into doing that. I also, we're not gonna end soon, but we're gonna end soonish. Because I don't want to run, I like running these streams a little bit shorter, as I always say during the streams, but let's do this one first. But I want to, also, one, test out this projector, and two, my mother brought me home some pizza, so I want to have pizza. It's my favorite pizza, so. I might even have soda today. Because I have soda once a week. I just pick a day during the week, resets on Monday. And so today's Monday, so it's kind of early, but having pizza, soda, and maybe watching a movie, is there anything better in the world than doing that? So, yeah. Also, so I did not sleep well at fucking all last night. I couldn't sleep. I'm having real bad insomnia recently. Whether it's insomnia or not, but like I can't sleep. And so I started, this is kind of my new mentality that I'm trying to better myself in, is that there are times where I just sit and I do nothing. Like if I can't sleep, I'm just laying on my phone, like scrolling. Like even if I sit there and close my eyes, it's like, oh no, you gotta lay there and close your eyes. Even if I sit there and close my eyes, it's not working. It's not gonna work. I can't fall asleep, right? And so I, or like sometimes I'll be like, I want to play games with someone, and I'll look at like Discord and nobody's online. I can't play games with anyone. I'm like, oh, I'm like lonely, and I feel, you know, sad. My new mentality, and I'm gonna try and keep it up. I've so far been keeping it up, begrudgingly, if you will, is that anytime I feel lonely, or I can't sleep, I either have to start working on projects or work out. And so I've worked out 2 times since then. Because 2 times... Actually, it might have been 3 times at this point now. Yeah, 3 times, actually. Because I did it the first day, and then the second day, and then this today. I was at 5 in the morning working out. And I feel pretty good for the most part. The worst part right now is my eyes, because I basically am staring at a screen 24/7 and getting no rest, so my eyes are, like, actually probably getting really damaged. So, I'm trying to do better, but we will see. I was saying that I should make a farm around the pixel art in the mushroom area, but I actually probably don't need to. I could probably just make bowls and eat mushroom stew from the mushrooms. Though that's not the most efficient food to eat. Look at all these ender pearls. Steve would be so jealous. This is a crafting table. Come on, baby. Up, 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 up. Okay. Oop. Oop. Swim up. One up on a table. I'll go to work a little bit more on the clearing out the pixel art stuff. I need to make a Wondercraft episode soon, because I haven't really posted a video, and we've done a lot, and there's a lot we can talk about on Wondercraft. I like Wondercraft because it's just like whatever nonsense I feel like talking about. Like, the streams are like everything, like you can just see basically everything I do, and then Wondercraft is just like, hey, here's like a time lapse of me doing this thing, hey, we're gonna go do something completely different now. Like, you know, it's a lot of fun. Go through the portal. Please. Please. I'm trying to remember what movies I've even watched this year. Because I kind of want to do, if I really want to start the channel this year, but if I start the channel this year, I want to do like a YouTube short of me being like top, 5 movies I've seen this year. 9 more, 22 more. I think that means it's full. Yep. And just do like a quick YouTube short about all the movies that I thought were cool and talk a little bit about them. Spoilers, Thunderbolts is probably gonna be number 1. It's funny because I thought Thunderbolts was gonna be out of theaters last Thursday, but it looks like it's gonna be out of theaters this Thursday. But like last week, I went to go see it for a 3rd time in theaters, and I made a joke with my mom today because she's like, I can't remember what I said about Thunderbolts, but I was like, we made some sort of joke, and I'm like, oh, you want to go see it? She's like, we could, and I'm like, I love this movie. I adore this movie. I would love to go see it in theaters again. I truly would, but I feel like that's probably too much. Like, I'm like, 4 times in theaters is probably too much. The 3rd time was a perfect storm because we had a gift card. I had a gift card for the theater, and it was a cheap day because I don't know if other theaters do this, but where I live, Tuesdays are cheap nights, so you can go in and just get a really cheap ticket. And my gift card paid for both me and my mom's ticket and both of our food, barring 9 cents. My mom had to pay 9 cents. So, like, it was kind of perfect. I literally just basically, I was like, I really want to go, and I have this gift card. Can we go? We found a day to go, and I paid for it. Like, it was awesome. I would love to go to it again, but I think that is probably just too much. You know? It's kind of shocking how much, like, it's really depressing because it is probably my favorite movie of all time. I'm gonna lock it in as probably my favorite movie of all time. Maybe if I watch Princess Mononoke again, I'll be reminded on who the real champ is, but it feels sad because, like, or not anytime, but a lot of times when I see people talking about it on Twitter, it's like, technically it didn't make enough money to be considered a success. I guess, I don't really understand how it works, but I guess it's looking like it's gonna break even, with, like, ticket sales combined with, digital and all that stuff. Which kind of sucks because it's literally the best thing Marvel's put out since Endgame. But it's one of those things for me where I feel like people... This is with anything nowadays, but I feel like people just shit on things for no reason. Like... They just, like, want things to fail, and it's so depressing. Because... Whether this movie makes $1 billion or fucking 100 million, right? Like, whether it's a success or a failure, like, to me, that movie is a success because it made me feel a certain way and I loved it. Like, to me, that movie is a big success. But, like, because of some specific statistics, it's a failure to certain people, and it's like, and they just have to feel the need to be like, yeah, like, fuck them, like, maybe they shouldn't have, done this, or, like, they shouldn't have done that, And I'm just like, God, how do you have the energy to be so angry all the time? Like, how could you not just go and watch a a superhero film and feel happiness, dude. Like, it's so crazy. We're at this, like, weird boiling point of, like, I don't know how more angry people can get. And if you like, and like, God forbid you enjoy something too. Like, it's so weird. It's like, God forbid you legitimately just enjoy a thing. And it turns into like you're an idiot, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, golly. Like, can a guy just have fun? Like, God forbid. To me, that movie will always be a success because I had so many good experiences watching it with my family, and I got to not necessarily meet, but like see a lot of cool people and like feel like I was in a community. So I'm more than happy about it. I think that people just need to like. I think it's okay to express your opinion, but when it gets to a point of like you're so mad, like you have to take a moment and think about like, is this worth the reaction that I'm giving for people? Because like, yeah, I'm fully like, you know, like I think you could be like, I fucking hate this movie, it's so bad, and then people be like, okay, man, that's like your opinion. But if it's like someone's like, oh, I love this dude, and it's like, why do you like? I love this movie. It's like, oh, why the fuck do you love this movie? You know, it's so bad. It's a fucking, you know, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other thing. It's like, golly, what happened to just like minding your own damn business? Speaking of movies again, I've been going, like, I go to Walmart every so often for groceries, and I always check their movie pile, and they have, like, I have every MonsterVerse Godzilla movie slash King Kong movie, other than Godzilla X Kong: A New Empire, because Godzilla X Kong: A New Empire is, like, $11 Canadian for the DVD, and I'm waiting for that bitch to become 10. I know it's gonna become 10 one day. I'm waiting. I am waiting. I'm like, I know you're gonna become 10. Because I bought all the Godzillas for like $10, I think, each. One of them I think was like a 2-pack or whatever that came with 2 movies. And so I'm like, I know that this is gonna become like $10 later down the line. But Godzilla versus Kong, the first like Godzilla Kong movie in the MonsterVerse, is like $9, and I'm like, fuck, man, could have saved $1. Could have saved probably like 10 cents to be real. I keep thinking that light's just a random hole, which we gotta be careful if a creeper falls down here. But, I keep thinking that light's like the end of the tunnel, but we're probably not even halfway done, considering we haven't even felt the effects of the beacon. We're probably slightly more than halfway done. Yeah, let's go grab. Unrelated, but speaking about Marvel and stuff, I'm pretty excited. I've been pretty excited, and I am still pretty excited for Ironheart coming out. I don't know if it's out yet. I have not been paying that close attention to it, but I'm kind of excited to watch it, because Ironheart has always been one of the characters that I really like. I'm a big sucker for, like, kid version of heroes, like young Avengers. Like, I love Batman and Robin because I love the dynamic of, like, Robin trying to be like Batman and Batman, like, teaching Robin. That's why I love the X-Men. You know, I like the younger generation becoming something else. You know, like becoming like the next generation, or like becoming like their mentors. I really enjoy that kind of vibe. And so I'm kind of excited for Ironheart, though the one thing I don't like about Ironheart, and it's not the one thing that a lot of other people don't like about Ironheart, because I'm completely fine with that. The one thing I don't like about Ironheart is I don't like how the suit looks. I just feel like the suit looks bad. I don't know why. I can't really put my finger on it. I hate the face, I think, of the suit. I don't like it. So I hope that she gets a better one later down the line, but I'm excited for it. I think it'll be fun. Especially with how Hawkeye has been for me. I'm more interested, not that all of the Disney series have been like 10 out of 10s, but Hawkeye surprised me a lot more than I thought it would, and I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would, so I'm really excited to get into more of the shows. Like, I know people always say, like, Loki is the go-to one, but I haven't started that one yet, and I don't know if I will, because, like, Loki isn't necessarily... I like Loki, but it's not this... I don't know, it's just not necessarily the character that I'm, like, the most interested in. But with how these shows have been so far, if people are telling me, like, hey, go watch this one specifically, and I'm going out of my way to watch the ones that people aren't even telling me about, then maybe I should take my time to watch that one. Oh, I probably should watch Daredevil Born Again as well. I think I'm like back in the superhero mode. I'm excited for the Fantastic Four. I'm a little worried about it, but I'm excited for the Fantastic Four movie. I'm really excited for Superman. I've been excited for Superman. James Gunn speaks what I want to hear, and I'm so excited to see him, what he does in the DCU. Like, the man made me believe in him the moment he was like, we're gonna make a Booster Gold show. I'm like, fuck yes, absolutely. I want to see a Booster Gold show. And, like, the shit that he does, like, Peacemaker, the shit he's done in Guardians of the Galaxy, I have full belief and faith that he can do something good. We just have to see if he will. But I'm really excited. He also said, dude, the guy is like pandering to me at this point. It's kind of weird. I need him to leave me alone. He's kind of a stalker at this point. But in an interview recently, he was saying that he wanted to make Superman. He was inspired by Godzilla -1 because he's like, it focuses a lot heavily on Godzilla, but has human problems and interactions. And I'm like, holy shit, this guy just wants to make me happy, I guess. So I'm really, really excited for that. I'm just excited for all the DC stuff. The one thing I'm kind of worried about, I don't want to say I'm super worried about, no pun intended, but the thing I'm kind of worried about is just the amount of characters being introduced in Superman that I feel like they're not going to have enough time. Though, I felt similarly about Thunderbolts going into it. I'm like, there's so many of these characters. I just don't know if they're going to be, like, if I'm going to like any of, like, maybe I'm just going to hate one of them, or, like, there's not going to be enough time for all of them to be fleshed out. And I felt like they all did a pretty good job. Obviously, in Thunderbolts, Yelena's the main character. She gets the most fleshed out. Bob being a secondary sort of main character. It's the second amount of fleshed out, and then the other characters, you have a little bit of extra stuff added to them with flavor, and you kind of know about their backstories. So, if they do something like that, I would like it. I'm really hoping it's good, because it kind of sucks, because I love superheroes, right? People always, like, I feel like I'm always called the DC fanboy, like I'm a DC lover, because I like DC. I like DC a lot. I like all their characters, basically. But I like Marvel too. I grew up with DC more than Marvel, but I love superheroes. I just love comics. I love superheroes. And I want both DC and Marvel to succeed. And so it sucks because I have like a lot of friends that are like, we only really, like, I have one friend that's like, I only really care about Marvel. And like anytime a DC movie comes out, it's like, oh, I'm really excited. Like, no, I'm not interested. And then it ends up being, mediocre, bad. And it's like, well, another DC movie, and I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, I just want, like, a good movie. I want good movies in DC. I want good shows. I mean, there are good DC shows, so I can't say that, but I want good movies. And so, I'm really excited for this one. I hope it's good, especially because, like, the friend that I have, he hasn't been shitting on it necessarily, but, like, he kind of is just like, I don't think it's going to be good. Like, he's kind of just like, I don't think it's going to be that great. And I'm like, I want it to be good, please. Because, like, even, I thought the Batman was really good with Robert Pattinson, and I was like, I was like, I don't think it's, like, the best movie ever made, but I'm like, that was a really good Batman movie. And my friend was like, it was alright. I'm like, oh. Like, I feel like, I think there's not going to be any winning with him, because he's going to always compare it to Marvel. But, and that's fine. If you prefer one over the other, that's completely fine. But I'm just like, I want more people to look at, because I feel like Marvel movies, and like even Marvel Rivals and stuff like that, did a lot from Marvel, where people are genuinely interested in their characters, and I want that to happen with DC, where people are genuinely interested in the characters. Like, I want people to get invested in a wide variety of different characters. I think the hardest part with DC is, someone explained this to me, and I've never thought of DC and Marvel differently ever since. But the way someone explained the difference between DC and Marvel is that DC, and this isn't for every character, but this is the main principles of the character, that DC is about gods becoming human. So you have people like Superman is a god trying to fit into a normal society. You have, like, Batman sort of doesn't fit that, but kind of does, where he's like this powerful billionaire dude trying to also fit into like a normal world. Martian Manhunter is the same, Green Lantern. Like, a lot of these characters are people that are trying to live a normal life but have godly powers. Wonder Woman, right? Like, all these, like, a lot of these characters. Sometimes literal gods. And not every character is like that, right? Like, not every character. Like, I would argue that Batman's not really even like that. But Flash isn't like that. I would say Flash is the closest thing that DC has to, like, Spider-Man, right? And so, like, it's not 100%, but it's the principles. And then Marvel is humans becoming gods. where they're human people with human problems getting these godlike powers and now trying to figure out how to live with that. And I feel that that is true, because that's, obviously there's Thor, right? Thor is a god trying to be a human, but then you have people like Peter Parker. He's a human that gets godly powers and needs to figure out how to live a life with that. He has human problems. The majority of Spider-Man is him trying to figure out, like, how to manage his life with getting these powers. Like, he already had problems before the powers, and now he has even more problems. Same for Captain America. He's a human that became a god. Sickly kid with tuberculosis or whatever, that causes, or that gets a super serum, becomes, Captain America. Iron Man, human that makes a suit that lets him be all powerful, right? Like, they're humans that are becoming gods, and I feel like that's sort of how I view it now, and I think that that's maybe why people align closer to Marvel than DC, because it's easier to relate to a human than to relate to a god. But I love DC because of that's how it is, where I love Superman. I think he's so interesting. I think that Superman, my favorite time, like, watching Superman are the movies where it's like, or having the thought in my head that, like, every time Superman does something, he's doing his best to, like, not kill the person he's fighting, because, like, killing is wrong, and he wants to be moral, and he wants to be a hero. So, like, imagine trying to stop a mugger from killing someone or stealing their money, and he has to fly down, he has to hit them, and he has to make sure he's not killing them, and he has to hold back this guy who has, like, all this power, has to hold back, or else he's gonna break something. He has to make sure he's, like, constantly, he can't not have any moment of respite, because every moment he's trying to, like, he doesn't want to open the door too hard or else he's gonna break it. And I just find that such a fascinating concept, and it makes it hard for him to be a normal person, because the moment that he starts using his powers for his own gain is like the Pandora's box. You always see, like, early Superman stuff where it's like in Smallville, there's the whole episode where Clark wants to be on the football team, but his dad's like, don't use your powers to get on the football team. But Clark's like, if I use my powers, I'd be a star. And it turns into this, like, this Pandora's box was like, well, if you open this and start using your powers for selfish means, like, you're not necessarily a terrible person for doing it, but, like, what's stopping you from just robbing a bank? What's stopping you from just, killing people for the sake of doing it? Like, you can easily just fall down that bridge of, like, well, it would make my life so much easier if I could just rob a bank, and Superman could do that. So, I don't know. I find that so fascinating. I love Superman. I think he's so cool. I think that a lot of the movies have ruined it for people because they just see him as, like, a milquetoast fucking, like, baby, like, dude. He's literally, like, the vanilla superhero, so. I get why people do sort of not like him, but I can't remember what it is, but I think it's like the Legion of Superheroes or something like that is such a good Superman show because it tells you the story of Superman as a kid, because it's basically Superman gets sent into the future as a kid and he's already, like, in the future. Everybody's like, oh my god, you're Superman, like, you are, like, a hero, you're a god, like, you've done all these incredible things, you fought these dudes, you've done all this stuff. But Superman as Clark Kent, the kid, hasn't done that yet, and so now he has to try and, like, learn to live up to the expectations of others while trying to, like, be a better person, learn how to use his abilities, and try to, fit into other people and, like, make friends and stuff. I think it's a phenomenal phenomenal show. But I think I'm going to end stream here, guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me and listening to me ramble about movies and TV shows. We haven't finished this, but we've got a pretty good chunk done. So I thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys on Thursday for probably Soul Hackers, probably Minecraft, probably very maybe Marvel Rivals. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys when I see you. Bye. Matane. Bye bye. Have a good day.